Greetings, this is Edward Ojambo. In this tutorial, I'll show you how to upgrade from Zen Cart 1.5 to the 2 series. At the time of this recording, right now the latest version is 2.10, but this method works for all versions, meaning it's feature-proofed as well. So if you're one of the people who actually have even like a Zen Cart prior to 1.5, like 1.3 or lower than that, this method will still work. So in a previous tutorial, I did show you how to install Zen Cart 2.10. So Zen Cart is a free open source e-commerce platform. It runs in PHP. Okay, so basically, just a quick reminder. So in order to view the upcoming live streams, you simply go to watch live and you can see which ones and what channel you'll be able to see them. So this will be the last one for this platform. And I said mostly more going to be with Odyssey. So right now we're Zen Cart Upgrade 1.5 to 2.x series, meaning 2.0, 2.1, and in feature-proof as well. So when you have another version of Zen Cart, for example, in this case, this screenshot here, it shows Zen Cart 1.58. You can see when you log into the backend, it will tell you that there's a new version available, which is, in this case, it says 2.10. So then you know how to upgrade. Zen Cart is still more. You have to perform a manual update, or you have to, if you don't want to do it yourself, especially if you have a live site, you can hire somebody like me. My name is Edward at ojamboservices.com, and I'll be able to help you and actually do the upgrade for you, including backups. So I always recommend not to perform upgrades on a live site. Always test it out first, make sure everything works, because with a platform like Zen Cart, they do have sometimes people who are not developers or programmers. What they do is they have people who modify the core files. So the problem with that is not a very simple upgrade. But I'll show you so you learn, and you can probably be able to do this for yourself in the future. And I said, if you don't have time, you can hire somebody like myself. And don't worry, it's just I'll show you how to do it the graphical way, and I'll show you how to do it on the command line. So I personally do use a combination of both. If it's going to be time consuming, I'll just stay on the command line. But if it's something just a few here and there, I'll do just graphically. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is to know that obviously with Zen Cart, it's going to be running on some type of HTTP server. Most likely it's going to be Nginx or Apache or some fork or something similar to them. Now, because by default Zen Cart doesn't come with pretty URLs, so it's quite possible that the site might actually be using even different, I think even the Windows IIS server or others. But majority of them are going to be running on a Linux type server, and it's probably going to be Apache. So you also need a MySQL or compatible database, for example, MariaDB. So those the Zen Cart, especially the older versions like 1.5, they won't have any problems running a MySQL compatible type of database. So then, so basically this, before you begin your upgrade, you're going to need a few tools. This is my recommendations. You will need some type of a text editor. You understand why that soon. So you do need a space, whether you do it locally or you do it on the web server. You need a space because you need to compare some differences. And then you need a comparison tool, such as, for example, diff, which is it comes with diff utils. I've done a tutorial on that. It compares folders and files, so then it'll tell you if they're different. So this is important, remember, because as I said, unfortunately, some versions of some people hired to maintain or look after some Zen Cart stores, they do modify the core files. Now, I do understand why they do that, because they want to bring some functionality that the client asked for. There's nothing wrong with that, but the problem is they don't document this. So as I said, it doesn't make a very straightforward upgrade. That's why people like me come in and have to find all those things. So you do need an archive tool, such as zip. Zip is also, I believe it's public domain, so there's so many versions. Like there's LZip, PKZip, PZip, all these different applications you can have. So because Zen Cart comes as a zip file, so you just need to unzip it. And for example, if you do your testing and everything turns out fine, and you want to now push it to the actual live site, it's always better to archive it, compress it, and then move it to the to the live site. So I'll give you an example. When I was doing this for Zen Cart, I think 1.58, it had close to 6,000 files. So you can imagine if you're trying to do, like, for example, an FTP or something, which you shouldn't use, by the way, you should use SSH or the secure version of FTP, it's going to take a while. So if you compress it, it's just one file, and because it's also compressed, it will be much faster. So obviously, as I said, MySQL server and some HTTP, and obviously PHP with the extension with the HTTP server, and a browser to view your output. So, what I recommend is you always perform a backup. So you make a backup of the current you make a backup of the current site, the current Zen Cart install. The reason for this is if you mess up, you can always start again. And the reason I perform a backup is so that I can set up a development site or a test site, and to see if it's suitable for upgrading. Now, I don't want to get into this. I said if you have any issues with this, you can hire someone like me. There's sometimes client might be using an add-on on a plugin that is not upgradable, and then you might have to upgrade it. So that way, I always let the customer know that, okay, do you want me to remove this plugin, or do you want me to upgrade it? So I would upgrade it, and I guess if it's a free open source one, everybody benefits, because then other people who probably like that plugin as well, they'll benefit from my changes, and obviously from the customers. Now, because the customer is paying me for that, that's why I said I have to ask for permission for that. And I said, and then obviously after you make a backup, what I usually do is I download, as you can see here, I also obtain the Zen Cart version of the existing site. The way to do that is just look at the includes version.php. Now, the reason I do that is because sometimes there might be remember I showed you in the beginning that you can go to the backend and see what version of the of Zen Cart is there. Well, that works in probably 99.99% of the cases, but imagine if maybe the client hired somebody to perform an upgrade and they mess things up, and then that's why someone like me who's an expert comes in. So I need to know what actual version is there. So there's ways to check, and that's a simple way. So there's also other ways. So if I have an idea of what version, like I said, this is usually the 5 series, you can upgrade to the latest version in that series. For example, I'll show you soon 1.58. There was a patched version in 2024. So you upgrade to that one, and then the upgrade to the 2 series will be more smoother. Although you can skip that. Okay, and then you can see, as I already mentioned this, make sure all the modules, the basic plugins, check for any modified core files, and check for requirements such as a PHP version. So for example, this has actually happened before, where a client hired me. It was a very simple site he had, and it was a very, very straightforward upgrade. But the problem was, he was in I think a shared hosting. Actually, he wasn't even in a shared hosting. He actually had, but it was stuck on PHP 5, and he needed to go to like PHP 7.4. This is a while back, obviously, and you can see the problem there. Obviously, the latest versions would not work with an ancient version of PHP. So those are all things you need to perform. Okay, so enough talking jabba here, and you can see just show you here. This is meld, which is a comparison between two versions. We'll go through this. There's also an upcoming tutorial, I believe just tomorrow, where I will use meld, show you how to actually, I'll get into explain everything. Today was just to be a short overview, and I'll show you this as well, Zen Cart. So Zen Cart, you can use it to make, you can export, that makes a backup, and you can also import. So remember I said when you have the current site, sometimes I do use a GUI application, so this is one I do use. So I can make a backup here of the database, or if I have SSH access, which I like, I can just do in the command line here. I can make a complete backup. You see, just two commands. I have a backup of the database, and I have a backup of all the files. So I prefer, they said that's why I prefer going to command line. You can see here's another command. I just run the diff command right on. You see I compare 1.5 to 2.10. This is a way to show what changed between the versions. So you can also do the same thing using the GUI. See, here's my file manager. I just compress or uncompress, extract, if you will. Just right click. As you can see, it's more involved when you do the GUI, and then you can compare. This is the merging part. I just drop. If everything is fine, I just drop it into the other one and just click merge on the desktop. Now that makes it easier. Obviously, I can do the same thing on the command line. It's much faster. And then the last thing you should see there is you see something like this, and this is 1.5, and you see it will perform the upgrade. And you see it just performs a database upgrade because we did we merged the files, and you say it was set up complete. So this is the live video right now, and before we actually start the thing, the gist of today's tutorial, I want to remind you that I do a live stream every day. Visit ojambo.com for details, especially if you want to see the upcoming streams. You go to watch live and you see the upcoming and the times and the platform. Also subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments for more frequent content. Okay, so first thing you do is you go to Zen Cart, and you see they make it very easy. Zen-cart.com. You see they make it very easy. You can download the current latest stable version. You see it's a zip file, so you just click there and you download. However, in our particular case, we already download this, so you can just click here, download. You can see it's version 2.1.0. I also need to download an older version. So I've already done that, so you click here for older versions. And the older versions you can see here, they have 1.5 up to 1.57D. And they're saying that for the 1.8, they actually found on GitHub. So you go to GitHub releases here, and you see it's version 2.10. That's the latest version, but that's, remember, I want the latest in the 1.50. That's it. So we just where is it here? So we have to scroll down. See, there should be next one, hopefully. So we'll go to page 2. At least at the time of this recording, here is one. See. It came out on March 8, 2023. So you just click on the assets here, and you can see here you can get the patched version, which is actually from April 5. 2024. So that's a full install version, or you can get just the patch. And I've explained what patches are. If you remember when I did the diff explanation, it just means it changes. It only has changes between when the actual 1.5a was released. So that you can get that one, and then you just apply the patch. Okay, so once you download this and you'll be good to go. Okay, so what I do is you can go to Zen Cart here. You can create a new database. You can call it whatever you want, because remember, in this case, yeah, you can call it whatever you want. Just create a new database and create a new database user. You can use the same users. I like to keep them separate just in case if I screw up, it won't mess anything up. So you can create you can see this one is blank. And then what I personally do is sometimes I maybe make two databases, and I'll explain to you why in a second. So I made the first database is for the latest version. So I want to make sure everything works fine. And then the latest version, I will see what the customer has. In this case, in 1.50, let's say plugins. See if they have the plugins which work for that version. I said if I may need to tweak them to make it work. So if that's fine, that's great. Then so in the second database might be for the 1.5 series, because I might have to undo some of the core files which have been modified. But I want to get that. I said if you need help with that, just contact me at ojamboservices.com and I'll help you with Zen Cart. I've done several Zen Cart work, whether it's a theme, modifications, specific plugins, migrations to and out of Zen Cart. I've done that as well. Okay, and then let me show you the folder here. You'll probably be familiar with this. So this is the folder. So you can see here, this is the downloaded latest version at time of this recording, the version 2.10. And you see this is the 1.58a, and this is the patched version. So just so that this tutorial doesn't take too long, so these two right now are the same, but as I was saying is what you do is you do want to get the same copy to see. This is how you will check to see if any files have been modified from the same version. Okay, so I'm going to install this one here, and in a previous tutorial you already installed Zen Cart 2.10, so I know this works, and we'll check to see what changed. And there's quite a few things that changed between 1.5a and the 2.10, obviously because this is a brand new version. And this is so because if you remember, even in that tutorial I did make some tweaks. So what I did is I also got a fresh copy of 2.10. This one hasn't been modified in any way. So this one will be used as to upgrade this one. So this one you can see it just has files in it. That's all it is. It's just a straight up copy, and that's what we want. Okay, so as an admin file, you can see, so you know this one is just it's literally just a copy. So I can even delete this, and let me just rename this. I don't want to mess this up, so I'll call this R. So I could just extract this. Okay, it says version 2 here, so I'll just rename this. It says Zen Cart. Okay, that's fine. At least it says Zen Cart. I just need the name Zen Cart. So I'll just say, yeah, that's fine. Zen Cart is fine. So this is here. Okay. So now I'm confused. I'll just say fresh copy. Fresh copy. I confused myself. Okay. So yeah, that's what I want. So this is a fresh copy. As you saw, I just extracted it. So that's what I want. And then this one is also the download of this one. You see the 1.5, the patched version. So in order to do the upgrade, if you notice, I created a database here. So I'm just going to show you how to install Zen Cart. Take this out of here. Now, when we go to the installer, you see there's a problem because on my system I have PHP 8.3.19, but this Zen Cart 1.78, it only supported up to PHP 8.2. Now, I'm a developer, I know what I'm doing, so what I did is I resolved this, I know I didn't. I could have put this in, for example, a pod. If you remember, I've also done a tutorial on pod and podman. I could have done that as well, put in a container and have another version of PHP. I could have done that as well, but I decided there's another way to fix this. So if I hit refresh, so that's gone. And you see it's telling me there's a newer version of Zen Cart. That's fine. I don't actually need that. Oh, it's not secure. So let me actually go to the secure one. HTTPS. Yeah, there we go. This is local, so don't. So hit continue. So it's found this. You see, it's Zen Cart is licensed under the GNU public license version 2. So you can you can click on this to see the license. I'm going to accept it. I've shown you guys the license several times. Okay, this is the server domain, and it's going to put it in Zen Cart because I'm doing everything in a folder. Most of you guys will probably have this as a main URL, but that's fine. So it detected everything correctly, and I enable SSL for the storefront. That means that in the old versions of Zen Cart, sometimes the front of the site wasn't secure, and only when the payment page, basically checkout, will be secure. But nobody does that these days. It's basically you have SSL, the secure certificate everywhere, HTTPS. That's what that means. Okay, so hit continue. So now it's asking for the Zen Cart information. So it's localhost, put here, and that's the database name, and I'll put in the password here. Okay, I'm not going to load demo data. I don't need that. And this is up to you if you decide to use this. I'm just going to leave it blank and hit continue. Okay, maybe I didn't put in a proper password. Oh yeah, I think I did not. Okay, there we go. So this shouldn't take too long. Okay, this is asking me for this. My email address will be edward@show.local. Local, and this is the temporary password. Okay, so I will say for Zen Cart 50. Okay, and this is the admin. You see, it creates an admin directory because before admin was the one it used, and it was discouraged because hackers would know that, oh, if I want to try to get into the admin area, it's OS/admin. So that's why they came up with this to prevent hackers from discovering it. So this one is the admin. So if you forget this, don't worry, I'll show you how you can get it back. So hit continue. So you see this is the admin area, and this is the front. So if you do forget that, I'll show you how you can find out which one is the folder. You simply go to the inside there, you will look for a weird name, folder with a weird name, and here it is. You see this one? So this is the admin area. So that's how you know that's it. So this is the admin area, and this is the front. So this works. This might be messed up because of the PHP. Okay, so it sells because of the, okay, let's go back here. So I'll get rid of the Z install folder. Remember in the previous story I told you you should actually take it out of the web root. So that's up to you, or you can just delete it. In this case I can delete it because I don't need Zen Cart 1.78. So I did delete it. Now I should be able to log in, and you see I'm able to log in now. To tell you the truth, I don't even, oh yeah, so I should be able to log in. So we'll log in here, and with that password. Okay, so I'm not going to do this, and you see up here it tells us that version 2.1.0 there's a new version of Zen Cart available. So it's getting the latest version. It's not, for example, telling us that I can upgrade to 2.0 and 2.0 etc. It just takes the latest version. It says it's available. So, and you can download it. So that's fine. You notice it's not it's not an auto update. You need to do this manually. So I'm going to log out of here. Okay, and is this the front? So this is the front of the site. So remember, we're in Zen Cart 1.5.8. So as I said, I would ask the customers what plugins they're using and all the settings and etc. etc. So that's 1.58. I don't recommend you use this in 2025 and above. So we're going to upgrade it to the latest version. So that's what we're going to do next. Okay, so we go back to our, where is it here? Go back here. Actually, let me get rid of this so I don't confuse you. So, okay, so go back in here. Now, if I click this data, see there's a bunch of databases and, I mean, there's a bunch of tables now. Before it was empty. So what I would do is I would go to click on the database and then go to export. And you see export, I would probably pick custom. You don't have to, you see it selected all the tables. And then compression, you pick one of this zip, gzip or gzip. So that's what you would do. I said I'm going to do it on the command line, but you can do it there. Okay. So we have this here. So the first thing you want to do is make a backup of this. And to make a backup, we're going to, where is my, just a second here. I'm missing some, oh, here we go, shell tricks. Yes, here we go. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'll open the console, open up, that's your terminal. Okay, so just put this here so you can see what I'm doing. Maybe I'll put this down here. That should be fine. I'll clear this. So remember, this is a copy this is just a straight up copy. Nothing's been modified. I just unzipped it. And this is the Zen Cart 1.58. So what I would do is I would compare this to see what files are new or have changed. Now, I'm not going to talk about it, the site is hacked or whatever. It's very similar. You do the same thing. You'd compare it to the actual site. So this is the patched version. So I know these two are the same because I just installed it. I just renamed it just so I can have a full copy of just the files themselves. So then what you do here is we need to make a backup. So to make a backup, we go to type MySQL dump -u, that's a user. I know the username, it's Zen Cart 15 P, that's for the password. You can put the password in there. I don't recommend it though. When you put the password in there, you can't leave a space. It just has to be like right there. So you leave a space. Now the database name, I know it's Zen Cart 15. Then we want to go to I'll just say Zen Cart 15.sql. Okay, it's asking me for the password. Okay, so it's created this file. You can see the file size. You see it's about 0.3 megabytes. So this is, so we create a backup. Now we need to create a backup of the we need to create a backup of the of the files as well. So that's easy to do. If you're on something like this, a file manager, you just click on your database and you click on this, you right click, and you can see I can go to compress, and this comes up, and I'll leave it as zip, and then I can just put a name in there. That's a graphic way to do it. I'm going to do it on the command line, so I'll make it a tar zip. So create, no, I don't need verbose. Yeah, so just create Z. So C stands for create, Z means zip, F means force, meaning that ignore errors and just continue. And then what I do is Zen Cart 15. It's weird that that's not working. And then what I need to do is Zen Cart -1 5. Yeah, so that's the folder. Oh, I need to give it a name. I forgot to give it a name. So the name I want to call this, I'll call it Zen Cart 15 backup.tar.gz. So that's why I did it on the command line. It's way faster than if I did this on the, if I used the GUI here. So you see it created this file, and you will see how big this file is. This is, as you can see there, it's about 8.5 megabytes. So we can right click, go to properties, and you can see it should tell me here, yeah, 8.5 megabytes. There we go. So now I have a copy. I'm skipping a few steps here because this is fast. Obviously, you should check to make sure that it actually created a backup, because there have been instances where I check and then it's just a bunch of a weird binary file. So just make sure it's a proper backup. Then what I need to do is I can use diff. So for example, I need to compare this folder to this folder. So I can use the diff command. So diff Zen Cart, what is it, 1.5a to Zen Cart, what is it, what do they call it? Oh, the copy. So v2 fresh copy. So when I run this, see, it's telling me that, for example, this file ZD plugins is only in the 1.58. So this is called a patch. So the good thing is, surprisingly, there's just a few things, and obviously some only exist in this one, and yeah. So this is pretty good. So I'm very familiar with Zen Cart. So if I'm looking at this, I would know that, oh, these are only things in this one. This is, so it's only in this, it's only in this. Is this actually, yeah. Oh, I made a mistake. Let me actually rename this to ZZZ1. I made a mistake. There we go. So this one should be fresh copy, because I was wondering why it was saying it's only in that one. So when I'm going to move this on a command line because it takes too long to do it on there. So what I'll do is I'll say move move it outside. Then I don't need this anymore. Okay, so run that command again. Zen to fresh copy. Okay, so you see it says it shows what's different. It says this is only in this file, this is only, obviously, for example, the admin folder is only this specific admin folder is only in 1.58. This fresh copy has the folder is still called admin. So then you would also need to run the diff on those admin folders as well to see what's what the difference is. As you can see here, this is the patch. It shows it shows all the changes for each specific file. So you can go and I did explain how to use diff on the command line. So you can go through all these and see. So another way to do this is you can also use meld. Have meld installed. I said the next tutorial is going to be on using meld. So what you do is you take this one and this one, these two folders, then you right click and you can click I can go open with. I do have some special scripts here. I'll show you so you can see compare left, compare right. but I don't want to use scripts, so I can just do this, and I can go open with, and I type in meld, and watch what happens. So you see it's scanning 1.58, and it's also finished scanning. It's still scanning. Also, it's finished scanning 1.58a, and also finished scanning 2.10. So you can see when something is crossed out, that means it doesn't exist. So as I said, we know the reason for that is because in this one, the admin folder is actually the is actually the sorry, what I mean is the admin folder hasn't been renamed yet because it's just a fresh copy, and this one here, it doesn't exist because it was renamed. So I would also run meld on the admin folder as well, because there's some core files might have been modified, but I just want to give you a visual representation. So if it's crossed out, that means it doesn't exist in this folder. So this is why I give them different names. If I called everything Zen Cart, it'd be confusing. So you can tell 1.58 and version 2. Obviously, this could easily be the current site's name. Then you can make up another name. It doesn't really matter. Okay, and you can see, so this is an installed text file. That's fine. This is a PDF. I don't care about that. So the files we actually want to care about are stuff like this. You see in the extras, this one curl test. So this one, because it's one of the core files, I'll probably leave that as is. But if you want to see what has changed between them, you can just click on them and you will see what happens here. So you can see it shows where the changes were. So for example, this is just the copyright, obviously, because this came out a few years before, and this one is just came out last year. So it's a few things changed. And then you can, that's so hard to see here. There we go. So as I said, I'll explain meld in a future tutorial. And I said if you see crossed out, that means it doesn't exist. So when you see a green on this side, that means it's new. It doesn't exist in the old one. So that's fine. We can trust the new one in this case. So as you can see, for example, here under vendors, you can see that in the old one, it didn't have this one called bacon QR code, right? So that's fine, and these other ones, they don't exist, so that's fine. Those can be obviously something that doesn't exist in a new version, that's fine. And another thing they did was, you see in the PHP mailer, because this version was obviously older, and this one here, obviously some things changed, that's fine as well. So I'm saying this is how you can quickly go, and you see Square, for example, came with 1.58, right? And it has been removed in the latest version, which is fine. And then you can see on and on and on and on. I don't see anything strange. Actually, let me pick one of these files, like the order total. You see when they're highlighted, different color. So that's because, as you can see here, obviously the copyright stuff, spaces. For example, here it was, what's the difference here? Probably a space or some. Oh yeah, there's a space here, as you can see. So the old version had a space, and this one a space after appended a space. This one doesn't have; it's been removed. So little changes like that, I would look through them. Now you can see the problem. As great as meld is, the problem is, remember I said that it comes with Zen Cart has over, at least version 1.58 has close to 6,000 files. You can't expect a human being to go through 6,000 files and comb through each line by line. So that's why a diff exists. So diff will quickly show me, I mean, there are options as well where I can see what files I should focus on and others. For example, if it's in the core stuff, something changed, I'm not, I'm fine with it. So I'll show you a faster way to do this. So what I would do then is, obviously because it's a major version update, so some things are going to be changed. So one trick you can do instead is, this is why I said get a fresh copy. So I'm going to compare this fresh copy we installed to this one, which is just straight up the patched version. So if I take that, and let me make sure, yeah, that's fine. So I take the patched version and I take this one and I compare. You can also open Meld. Here, I'll show you another way to do this. Is you can open up Meld. Okay, you see, then you can do a folder comparison. So I click here, folder, and then I go here and find where the folder is, and I can open up this way. That's one way to do it, but I prefer to do it because I can do it this way. So I just go to open, open with, type in Meld. So this one should be almost the same. You see the same problem again. It doesn't find the admin folder because the admin folder, I said, was renamed. So I'll show you how you can take a look at that. So as you can see, they should basically be exactly the same. And another stuff is, yeah, this is the folder. You see this weird name? This is the admin folder. So you see it doesn't exist here. And obviously this this install folder is also not. So you see, so this would give me confidence that that the customer doesn't have any modified core files, and I can simply just go ahead and upgrade. So I'll show you how to quickly, if you haven't figured that out yet. So what you can do is you can do this in Meld as well. I'm going to use Meld. So what I do is I go to this folder first, and where's the admin, the weird admin folder? This is the weird admin folder. So I go to scripts. I create this script. If you want to learn how to do this, I put this compare left, and we go here, and I go here, and the admin folder, and I will go to scripts here and compare right. So you see now it's only comparing the admin folders, even though the names are different. So you can see here, is there some changes here? Yeah, so here the config, this makes sense because on this one, this with the weird name, this was actually, we'll take a look at it in a second, but I believe that should be the only thing that's different because it's a config file, because this is actually installed. So you can see it doesn't exist in this other one here because this is just a fresh copy, nothing has been installed yet. Okay. Now, with that out of the way, very simply, we can do a merge. So the merge is you can simply take all the you can take all the files from this fresh copy and dump them into this one without the admin folder. So that's probably going to take a while. So what I'll do is I'll just I think I'll open this in a, let's see, where's open in a new window. So I will open this in a new window. It's just easier to do it this way. Oops. Okay, oops. Okay, so you see this is the 2.10 copy, and then you can go to the 1.58 here. So just copy this into here. You don't need the admin folder. So I'll just select all and check that one, and then I'll just drag this into here. You can see it's going to ask me if I want to replace. Yes, I want to replace with the new ones. So I'll apply. And then it's going to ask me if I want to merge. Yes, I want to merge. Is it done? Oh, looks like it's done. Okay, it looks like it's done. So that was actually much faster. Okay, it's still working. So you see how many files it moved. As I said, it's very close to 5,000. Obviously, it didn't move the admin folder. With the admin, it will be a whole bunch more. So now, and then what you do then is, I believe the admin folder also needs to be done. So we're going to try it that way. Hopefully it doesn't fail. We go here. We take the admin folder. Everything here. Oops. Control A. And we dump it into here. And do the same thing. Apply. And we also do a merge. Okay. I don't know if I did a replace or merge, but okay, I don't know why I deleted here. Okay, so that's fine. Now we go back. Now we should have, if we go back to this one, then we should have, you see it has the this folder. So this is how we're going to do the upgrade. So when we're here, we go back to our site here, and then we just type install. So it so you can see here we get something different. This time we can do a clean install or we can do an upgrade. So we want to do an upgrade, and see it tells us here it's going to it's going to do it's going to do it in two steps: 1.58 to 2.0, then 2.00 to 1.10. So we leave it as that. Then it's asking me for the admin username and my password. That's the weird one it created for me. So paste it in there, hit continue. Hopefully this doesn't mess up. Done. See, it did a database upgrade, and now it's complete. To be sure to also upgrade your plugins. And now it says I need to remove the Z install folder, so let's go and take care of that. So here's the folder. We delete it. And now that we're finished, we should be able to go to that weird, I already forgot the name of it. Where's our admin folder? Where's that weird? Yeah, this one here. So just go to properties. I just care about this. So here, and it was admin, and again that weird password. And you can see here, now it's saying your version of Zen Cart appears to be current. You're currently on version 2.1.0. And you can see here, it's still saying Zen Cart 1.58. And here, that's because, so we have successfully upgraded Zen Cart from 1.58a to the latest version 2.10 at the time of this recording. And you saw it actually also did the 2.00 and 1.0, so you're able to upgrade. So you can use this method to upgrade from older versions to the latest version, whether it's an update or an upgrade. Now if you need help with this, you can contact me at ojamboservices.com. So let's go back and finish up here. So if just quick reminder, I perform a live stream every day. You visit ojambo.com for details. You see, you go to watch live, and you see the next or the current live stream and what time it is and what channel. And when you click on it, for example, this particular article, you see right at the top here, they will tell you also where the date and time, and you can click there to actually go to see the live stream. Okay, and be sure to subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments for more frequent content. This article, everything is in the description. It will be at ojambo.com/zen-cart-upgrade-1.5, no 1-5-2-2-X. If you enjoyed this, consider supporting me. Purchase one of my WordPress plugins at ojambo.com, enroll in my programming courses at ojamboshop.com, buying my programming books on Amazon, search for Edward Ojambo, links in the description. Hire me for your programming and app development, including web-related issues at ojamboservices.com. You can become a donor at ojambo.com/donate. So you can click here, or you just, it's in the header bar here as well. Okay, so that's the end, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.